You're holding your breath as you await your prospect's next words. After months of back and forth, you're finally going to close that sale. But what comes next hits you like a blow to the head. They're not moving forward on the deal. Your mind races as you ask yourself, how could this happen? After all that time I spent talking with them, why? Did I do something wrong? Rejection like this is a natural part of the sales process, but just because it's normal doesn't mean it's easy, especially when you're just starting out. So, why is sales rejection so hard to take? Our body responds to rejection in much the same way it does to physical pain. This reaction also reduces our capacity to reason, decreases self-control, and elevates levels of aggression. Beyond this physiological response, other factors also make rejection hard to take. Here are 3 reasons that coping with rejection can be difficult. The first is sunk cost. Sunk costs are the time or resources you've spent on something and can't recover if it falls through. Salespeople often invest a lot of time with a prospect to answer their questions, demonstrate products, and research their needs. So, when those efforts don't pay off, you might feel like you've wasted your time. Another issue is the fear of failure. Maybe your manager set an aggressive quota for the quarter, and you're stressed about it. Or sometimes you might equate a sales rejection with personal failure. These added pressures can make it difficult to deal with rejection. And finally, salespeople often develop personal relationships with prospects. You may build great rapport and even friendships. That can make it tough not to take rejection personally. Knowing that sales rejection is common and inevitable, what are some coping strategies to help you get through those moments? Let's take a look at 5 mindsets you can adopt to face rejection head-on. First, remember that every no gets you closer to a yes. See how many no's precede that first yes. Do the math if it helps, and ask yourself, if I reach out to 100 prospects, how many of them can I expect to say yes? Out of those people, how many can I expect to move farther along the pipeline? Approximately how many people end up buying from that initial pool? Next, understand that no doesn't mean never. Getting rejected might feel like the end of the road, but it doesn't have to be. You can always build on the relationship to move things forward in the future, or even ask for referrals now. The third mindset to adopt is that a rejection equals a relationship. Let's look at what that means in practice. Think about it. If you never reach out, you can't get rejected. So when someone says no, they've at least taken the time to listen. Even though it wasn't the response you wanted, you now have an opportunity to cultivate a relationship. This isn't about being pushy or aggressive. Instead, take the chance to make a good impression. Thank the person politely, ask for feedback, and when appropriate, invite them to recommend others who might benefit from your product or service. Next, effort matters. In a fast-paced sales environment with one goal, closing the deal, this one can feel tricky. But remember, stressing out is exhausting and counterproductive. When rejections happen, you know you're putting in the work to get closer to the goal. Finally, keep things in perspective. The best salespeople will tell you not to sweat a single rejection, especially because you'll experience more rejection the longer you're in the game. Learn from the experience and move on. We all face rejection sometimes, and in sales, regular rejection is part of the job. Adopt a healthy mindset for dealing with sales rejection to stay positive, motivated, and primed for success.